If you're wondering whether or not you should have a pre-sale, then this is the video for you. I'm Ashley, the owner of Shep Publishing, and we help authors get from the page to the people with efficient and effective marketing strategies. So today I want to talk to you about pre-sales, and they are something that I've done for all of my books, and I support other authors in doing the same for theirs. Now, why might you consider having a pre-sale? First, it's a great way to test or validate your idea. And what does that mean? So, in simple words, it is something where you're able to see if people are actually interested in what is the thing that you're trying to sell. Pre-sales are pretty common throughout the online marketing space, and with authors as well, they are. And sometimes they might call them pre-orders instead of pre-sales. Same thing. Either way, it's a great way to see if people are actually interested in what it is that you're writing. If you're able to get people to purchase your book before it's finished, then you know that you have a solid idea and that it's something you should definitely move forward with. As well, if you're somebody who needs a little bit of a kick in the pants, or like you need some type of external motivation in order to be able to meet deadlines, then a pre-sale is a great way to keep you on track. Of course, you are going to want to make sure that you have intrinsic motivation and you're not just waiting for someone else to purchase your book in order to finish it. However, it can really help to structure your book launch process. As well, a pre-sale is a great way to determine demand for something. And so if you are thinking about things to sell beyond your book that are not just the book, for example, if you have courses or digital products, things of that sort, then using that book is a great way to leverage. And doing it in a pre-sale format is a wonderful way to be able to determine how hot is this thing, how much are people really wanting to invest in this, and it can actually help you to determine what other types of products or services or events to have that are surrounding your book. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that you do not have to have all of your aspects figured out for your pre-sale. You don't have to have everything completed, and you don't have to have an entire idea of exactly what you want to include when you're doing a pre-sale. Now, at the same time, I'm not talking about scamming people, but what I am saying is that if you have certain things in place and you have a certain structure that you know you're going to follow, it's okay to begin to start accepting payments as long as you have guidance and help within the process to make sure that you are doing it the right way. Now, back to the reasons why you should have a pre-sale. The next one I have is pretty simple, is that you can get paid faster. When you think about other platforms such as crowdfunding platforms, some of them, a very popular one, requires that you actually meet your campaign goal before you can actually cash out and get your funds. However, if you're doing a pre-sale on your site, for example, on your website, for example, you can begin to tap into those funds earlier so that way you can use them for publishing. And in essence, you can actually be someone who is more along the lines of a traditionally published book where you're actually able to get those funds kind of like in advance to be able to pay for your publishing, your marketing, and so on. And then my last reason, I have more, but my last reason for this video is to really help you to avoid overbuying copies of your book or overbuying copies of your merchandise. Now, this is just my opinion. However, you want to consider something where would you rather be someone who has hundreds or thousands of copies of your book laying around in your house and you're having to decide where to store those, or if you even have space to store those, or are you someone who's thinking, okay, I want to make sure I account for everything. I want to make sure that I have a setup where I know who is purchasing what, and I don't have to keep hundreds or thousands of books on hand in my physical space in order to still be able to sell my book. And so if you're doing a pre-sale, you'll know exactly how many books you should order ahead of time. With a little bit of leeway, of course, you want to add a little bit of a cushion so that you have extra copies for those who haven't purchased just yet. But it gives you a more realistic measure of how many books you should order as your first print run, or if you're doing Amazon KDP, about how many books you should order of author copies. So this video has talked about different reasons why you should have a pre-sale. And if you're new to pre-sales, then I have a few options to support you. One is my free pre-sale masterclass. And so you can click that link in the description of this video. If you are brand spanking new to pre-sales, you have no idea, and you just want to know what all the options are. But if you're someone who is ready to get started with your pre-sale, but you need a little bit of support, you need someone to walk with you through the process, then you can sign up for our pre-sale done for you service or done with you service, and we'll be able to help you with that. And that link is in the description as well. Thanks again.